Hello? Hello? I cannot hear it. It's weird. I should be able to hear it. Let me see. Hey. That has been using another interview. Well, that's fine too. Watch your mouth. Okay, so my headphones obviously weren't working. Okay, so how are you all doing today? This is Make It Happen Monday. I am the host, Courtney Nicole, aka God's Lyricist, and I will let my guests introduce themselves today. You all can go ahead.
How y'all doing? My name is Trey Pound, owner of Pounds Apparel. I'm a junior here at ODU, majoring in real estate.
Hi, my name is Elle. I am also a junior here. My major is sociology, and I have a Spanish minor.
What's good, y'all? My name is Colin. King Colin. You know, some people call me that, some people don't. But I'm a senior here at ODU, majoring in communications, minoring in African American studies, and I'm also the president of ODU First.
Okay, so now that they introduced themselves, you guys, I would like to give you all the quote of the day. Oh, I wrote it. Let's get it. Okay, the quote of the day is, "What you get by achieving your goals is not as important as what you become by achieving your goals." And it's by Zig Ziglar. I think that quote is very, very important for people to understand because it's the execution that's essential. And even though you achieve something great, you have to be able to understand that the process is as important as well. So that is the quote of the day. The topic of the day is the matter of perspective. And after I get into the questions from Trey Pounds, then we will get into the interview. I said that wrong, but you get what I'm saying?
Indeed.
Okay. Okay. So first, Trey, would you like to introduce your brand?
The name of my brand is Pounds Apparel. That basically stands for People Owe You Nothing, Don't Sleep.
Got you. And what inspired you to create your brand?
I've always enjoyed fashion and buying clothes, so I figured I would just invest in myself with doing something that I enjoy, while also spreading a positive message and aiming to spark a change in people's mindset. And also because my name is Trey Pound, so I basically just took my nickname and made a meaningful slogan with it that I've always lived by as a kid.
That's dope. A lot of people have a hard time finding stuff to
Indeed.
think of. So I think that's dope. Another question that I have for you is, how long have you been branding Pounds and selling merchandise?
I've been branding Pounds probably since the beginning of June. Pounds have been in the making, I would say, probably since November of 2018. My first initial drop was this past June. I dropped 6 initial shirts, and that was basically to set the foundation to basically to get a feel of the fashion industry, basically. My latest drop was this last September, actually.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And I think that one did pretty well, didn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I have a few more pieces that I am that I have for sale. My next drop would be probably this, if not the end of October, then the beginning of November, definitely.
That's dope. So y'all be on the lookout.
Yes, please.
What obstacles do you face as a new entrepreneur, and how do you overcome them?
I face obstacles every day as an entrepreneur because there's always questions and concerns that I basically have every day. Google is literally my best friend. Every time I'm unsure about something, 9 times out of 10 will Google it. And of course, there's always times where business is slower than some days, but that just comes with being an entrepreneur and knowing the value and what you're capable of.
Got you. Understood. Are there any crazy stories that you felt like may have caused doubt in your mind about starting your own brand that you can now laugh at but at the time it was probably frustrating or something like that?
I probably don't have any crazy stories, but before I actually dropped my first initial merch, I had a little doubt that people wouldn't really like my clothes, but so far people have really been supporting me and my brand. So, and I'm just getting started, so I can't wait to see what I'll be like in the next years to come. To be honest.
That's so dope. What is the most rewarding thing about having your own brand from your personal experience?
Mm, I would probably say the most rewarding thing from starting my own brand is probably inspiring others to start their own business. So I can probably say probably in like the last 2 months, probably 5 to 6 of my peers have also started their own business. Like even my girlfriend, she's here. She started her own business as well. She have a plate business that she just started. So that's basically just my biggest impact, just inspiring others to do something rather than working for someone else or even doing the wrong things to get money, basically.
That's dope. Inspiration is important. Okay, so how can people find your merchandise?
My merchandise can be found at my website, www.poundsapparel.com. I also have a business Instagram, pounds_apparel. And hopefully soon, I'm also trying to get my merchandise in the Monarch store right here. So probably in the next month or two, you guys can find my merchandise in the Monarch store on the web. And then I'm also available around campus anytime too to deliver merch.
Is there anything else that you would like to tell the people that I haven't discussed?
Probably what Pounds stands for. Pounds, POUNDS. That's basically the acronym for the meaning people owe you nothing, don't sleep. To me, that basically means to never feel like you're obligated for a handout. In today's society, majority of our generation feel as if they don't have to work for anything in life, living with the expectation that any and everything will be handed to them. So with the mindset of people owe you nothing, I believe that will positively impact our youth as well as the leaders to build their own foundation for success and wealth.
I think that is so dope. And
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I personally just want to say I definitely support Trey's brand. Before I told him, like, he had put a message on his Instagram. What is it called?
My mission statement.
His mission statement. He put his mission statement on Instagram, and that really made me low-key fall in love with the brand. Because, I mean, when you think about it as young people, a lot of the times we think people do owe us something, but his brand stands for something that I definitely support and I like it. So I definitely excited to have him on my show. So thank you for coming and thank you for telling the other people about your brand.
No problem. I bought you some merch here.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's so sweet. That's so sweet, y'all. He bought me some merch.
You're welcome.
Bought me some merch, y'all.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. Okay, y'all. So now that we got into Pounds Apparel, I need y'all to go shop. Please do. Please. Let's get into the matter of perspective, which is the topic of today. But before we get into the matter of perspective, I will explain my do's and don'ts and in between so everybody understand how this goes.
Yeah.
So, do's, don'ts, and in betweens. Everybody has a different opinion on certain things, and that's okay. So that's why I have the do's, don'ts, and in betweens. You can either agree, disagree, or be in between about the matter. If you agree, you say do, and you say why. If you disagree, you say don't, and you say why. And if you're in between, you say in between, and then you explain why. So it's important that we are able to respect each other's opinions. It's good. I said this before, but it's good to understand other people's perspective in order to be able to teach people and feed wisdom into other people. Because if you don't understand how somebody thinks, you can't help them gain knowledge, nor can you gain knowledge yourself. So it's important to allow different perspectives to be understood. And I think that is key. So the first question is, do you think it is appropriate to check your partner's phone? Let's get into it.
Ladies first.
We should have saved mine for last.
You want to?
No, you gotta go first.
You want to save yours for last?
She said for the
Go ahead, nah. So go ahead.
She got a lot she wouldn't say.
Did you say, do I think it's necessary or appropriate?
Do you think it's appropriate? Yeah.
Yes. To a certain degree.
Okay.
To a certain degree, not.
So you're
something
in
that should just be
between.
done. No, I'm definitely with. Yes. Okay. I'm in between. It depends on the trust that you have with your significant other.
Okay.
If you have done something to break your significant other's trust, then you have to accept that they want to look through your phone because in a sense you owe them that.
Okay.
In my opinion.
Understood.
Can you ask the question one more time for me?
Do you think it's appropriate to check your significant other's phone?
I'm gonna say I'm in between.
Okay,
too,
why are you in
because
between?
I think the only way it'll be appropriate is if you give them a reason to check your phone. But also at the same time, if your significant other gave you a reason for you to check your phone, I don't think that you should always like hold them to that certain thing that made them check your phone. Like if you see what I'm trying to say.
I understand
You know what I mean?
exactly what
So
you're
basically,
trying
it's
to
an
say.
in between. Like it's basically like just forgive and forget. Like you can forgive them for giving them a reason to check your phone, but don't always hold them to that certain standard of why they gave you the reason to check your phone in the first place. Basically,
I understand what you're saying too. Not if you trust them.
Yeah.
I'm on live for those of you who don't know on the air, so I'm gonna respond to those people as well.
yeah.
What's your opinion, Colin?
I don't think it's appropriate
Okay, why you a don't?
because ultimately, if I'm ever put in a situation where I feel like I have to check my significant other's phone,
Yeah.
it breaks that trust. Like I would rather talk to you about the situation at hand versus I'm gonna check your phone. I'm gonna assume based on what I see that I find. If I find anything, and then I'm gonna get mad, I'm gonna blow up, and then you haven't had the chance to explain yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because if I was to just check your phone, the type of person I am,
Okay, I have a question.
especially
Like,
if I feel
Okay.
like I'm
are you
black.
saying just checking the phone just to check it, or checking it like and
For a
speaking on
reason.
things?
Checking
or-
it to look and see if like somebody's.
So checking it kind of like on the sneak, like not saying anything to your partner after checking it, or.
Oh, that's
Or
a
like
different
they
level.
get-
Like, are you saying, okay, I think what I'm asking you is, are you saying on a consistent basis, like just checking your partner's phone, or
I just think in general.
just the idea?
Yeah,
Oh,
just the
yeah,
idea of
okay,
checking the phone.
okay.
Okay.
What you think, Court?
What do I think? I feel like I'm a don't. But I'm not even gonna lie. I've done it before. But I feel like I'm a don't. Because if I feel like I'm in a place where I feel like I need to check your phone, I feel like you have created a loss of trust.
Yeah.
If I'm dating somebody, I have to trust you. That's the most important thing. I have to trust you because it's a lot of stuff that when you're in a relationship, you have accountability for. So if I can't trust you, then it's going to be hard for me to date you. And then I'm going to be that person that's want to look through your phone, want to see who you talking to, why you talking to him, when you talking to him. So if I'm at that level where I feel like I have to check all the time, I think I'm going to just have to debt the situation. So that's why I'm a don't, because I wouldn't like being in that place because I've been there before and I just didn't like it. It was uncomfortable. So I'm a don't. Just don't violate.
That makes sense.
Just don't violate. Nobody got to check it.
Don't violate. Okay. So my next question is it okay to date somebody that your friend has dated?
I'm going to go with absolutely not for 200, Courtney.
So she's a don't? Okay. Why are we a don't? Let me know.
It's just, okay, like dating someone in middle school, like that doesn't count. Like,
Okay.
Because once we reach a certain age, like you start to care for people differently when you're entertaining them, when you're engaged in something serious. But
Yeah.
if we're of age where it's like everybody knows that you dated this person, you can't, that's inappropriate. So absolutely not.
Okay.
Yeah, I think me and Elle probably in the same boat. I don't think it's okay for you to date someone that your friend has dated, especially if y'all have been like of age, like she said, like middle school, elementary school, that don't really count. But if y'all actually at the age where y'all was being intimate and things of that sort, then nah,
Yeah, I
that's
think
not
that's
acceptable.
very important. Okay, Colin.
I'm gonna say I'm in between.
In between. Why you in between?
Only because I don't feel like I've reached that age yet where I've really able to say like, you know, like when we still in school, it's like it's still a lot that we haven't fully experienced. So it's like if you date, if one of my friends were to date somebody that I've dated, it's like I would be mad, but at the same time, mentally, we still just a slight bit immature.
Gotcha.
So, all right. So basically, you saying that you had a girl probably in like 10th, 11th grade,
Yeah.
and one of your partners, they was with you in 10th, 11th grade, and they knew that you had this girl. So imagine like they start talking now, like they end up having a baby, for God knows what.
I'm gonna feel like I dodged the bullet, honestly.
All right. So say if they don't have a baby, even. All right. So say. All right. So
Don't
say.
be literal.
Especially if.
He said he gonna
Like,
feel like
no
he
shade,
Don't be
died.
but-
literal.
All right. Okay. So forget
I'm
the
so
pregnancy
sick.
part. Say if they just dating, like they in a real relationship, like you wouldn't feel no type of way about that. Like.
I would.
Probably depends on who it is.
It depends on who it is, and honestly, I would. But you know, if that's them, I wish them the best. I feel like me personally, like, why would I still be mad
My
if
nose ring twisted.
I'm not with that person no more? Like, not dissing what we had, not dissing any of that. But it's like, if I'm not with you no more, I can't control who you date.
Yeah, but I just know, like, personally, like, in my mind, I think, like, back then, like, during this whole time, that they was probably, like, messing around on me or something like that. So
Yeah,
that would just
but
open up a whole nother can of beans.
But then still, is that really my friend? If you would do something like that.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's a good question.
That's a
That's
really
why I
good
say
question.
I don't, bro. There's no in between.
Y'all listen, I'm a don't. Ain't no in betweens about it. I do not want to date anybody that my friends have dated. Like, the thought is just
It's
sickening
nasty.
to my
It's
stomach.
trifling, it is.
Because it's like, if you're my friend, I love you. That's just what it is. So if I love you, I'm not talking to nobody that you talk to. I just can't do it. Like, mentally, I just will see them every time I see you.
Yeah.
Like,
9 times out of 10, if you're my friend and you dated somebody and y'all are no longer together, I probably don't even like him on your behalf. So
yes.
I
And
probably
then,
wouldn't even speak, let alone like
Yeah.
him. Like,
and then when you think about it, it's like, even if that person, quote unquote, likes the person that you used to mess with, where's the respect for you in that relationship?
Mm-hmm.
It's lost.
One of y'all said that last time. It's like, at that point, you fam, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah,
to
so
a certain extent, like, friends become family if y'all are real
Yeah.
friends. So
Yeah.
if you're willing to date
And-
somebody that I've dated, then
and I
what we
say
doing?
it differs because people be like, okay, well, what if my friend just be having fun with everybody? Keep it clean.
I
Okay?
got a friend like that.
So so then that's where questions come in like, okay, well she messed with everybody, so I really can't be choosy or whatever.
But it's still about your
But-
personal morals, though.
Same, that's for me.
It
Like
doesn't matter
me,
about what they're doing.
even with that, you say she messed with everybody. If everybody let them mess with her, that's a question on them too.
Yeah.
Like, that don't just sit the question on her. For me, it's like, you know she messed with everybody and you chose to still mess with her. Decisions. You gotta make
Maybe
them.
they wanted to be the captain.
You gotta pray about them. You feel me?
They wanted to be the captain and try to save them, you know what I'm saying?
Don't save her. She don't wanna be saved.
But they say they do.
Ain't no
They say
saying.
they want to be saved, but they actually be
Save it. Save it for somebody else. No, just kidding. I'ma pray for you. That's all I can do. Okay, so my next question is, do you feel like you have to post your significant other? And do you feel like it's important, like, in a relationship? Spill the tea,
I
y'all.
love how I'm the first one that comment on every single
You,
question.
yeah, you got
to.
to.
But do I feel like you have to? No.
Right, yeah, do you feel
I feel like it's important? Yes. Because the generation that we are a part of is solely social media based.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I know, for example, like in my relationship, like Trey is on social media all the time. So I know.
I run a business off of Instagram.
Not on Pounds Apparel, on his Instagram all the time. Let me rephrase. Not business related.
I'm so
he is
tickled.
socially on social media all the time. And
The
so
two
it's
is
like,
linked.
if you don't feel like your significant other is worth posting, that's something different if you're not a person who posts a lot on social media.
Yeah,
But if
yeah.
you're someone who's on social media a lot, then not posting your significant other is kind of like it's as a female, it's like a red flag. It's almost just like as if like you don't want people to know about me, or
Yeah, it provokes those thoughts.
yeah,
Understandable.
it does. As a female,
Yeah.
For males, I know it's different. They don't think of it that way.
Yeah,
But
I
for
can agree.
females, yeah, especially if the female is posting you, it really makes a difference.
Oh my goodness, that just. Go ahead.
Ooh,
That's just.
Oh man, but to me, no, I don't think that it's mandatory that you have to post your significant other,
Okay.
because I feel like when you post your significant other, people are constantly gonna try to not necessarily like downplay our relationship, but try to just add fuel to fire that's not even basically there. To be honest,
Yeah, people do it all the
like
time.
people like making up stuff for no reason just because they see you and your significant other happy and they not happy, so they might feel a certain type of way and might try to make up rumors, things of that sort. So no, I don't think that you should
But
have
people
to.
can make up rumors even if you don't post. Things can happen even if you don't.
I mean, even if you don't post, I just, you know what I mean, I like keeping my life and my relationship personal. Like, even though I might be on Instagram every day, all day, promoting a business, that don't mean I want everybody to know what's going on with my significant other. Like, yeah, I might post you every now and then, but I'm not about to be recording you the whole day. Like, yes, this is my
That's
girlfriend.
something different. That's
Yeah,
not what
I
she
understand.
asked, though. She didn't
I
say
understand.
recording all day. She said posting.
I understand what you're saying.
Okay.
I understand the different perspectives.
It makes a difference, though. It does. It makes a big difference on how you view them. Like, it's like you don't have a... Posting them can give you, like I said, because social media plays such a big role in our generation, posting your significant other is almost just like... It's almost like a compliment in a sense. Like, it's a sense of comfort. Like, making them know that you appreciate them.
I understand.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's different for girls.
I wouldn't necessarily say it's a compliment, because if you show your girl
He not a
girl. He not
or
a girl.
if you show your significant other that you love them, you shouldn't have to show to the public or to social media that you love them. Like, you don't have to show
But
somebody
that's not
that.
showing that you love them by posting them.
But you said,
It's just a form of appreciation, like
but
showing them.
it's
off.
other ways to show my appreciation too. Like, I can give you flowers. I can take you on a date to show you my appreciation. I don't have to necessarily post you on my Instagram to show you or to show the world that I appreciate you being my girlfriend.
But I
So I don't. I just. I don't.
Colin.
But see, I look at it from both ways. And I
Which one?
understand both.
Dude,
Like,
don't in
let's-
between.
Our answers are going to be different than Colin's because you're single, right?
yeah.
Yeah, so it's different. He's not in a relationship versus this relationship almost 5 years old now. So it's different. It's a different type
it
of
is.
perspective.
What's
But
your
see,
perspective?
I feel like, I don't know, this kind of hard though. Like, you don't have to post your significant other. I don't even think it's important that you post your significant other. I mean, if that's something that I choose to do, then I choose to do it. But like he's saying, like, people come out with rumors once they start seeing who you're with. So it's like, I mean, I'm not opposed to posting your significant other, but probably not until after we establish like that base,
Some
like that
lines, yeah.
strong foundation. Like, okay, so if I don't post you shouldn't get mad, because I feel like if I'm still with you, like if I'm on social media all day, every day, but I'm here with you, like, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's
I am a victim. That means nothing. So don't say that.
No,
That doesn't
bro.
mean-
No, she's not a victim of that. She's not a victim of that.
Being right there with someone means absolutely nothing.
I mean,
It do
like,
mean
Married
something.
people sit together every night and look at the type of things that go on in marriages. So think
but
about
is
that.
Do they have a strong foundation?
They have
though?
kids together. What stronger
That
foundation
is
is
no
that?
strong foundation.
Yeah,
We have
kids.
So
Yeah.
if kids aren't a
Money.
strong foundation, then what's a strong foundation in a relationship without kids?
The mental connection,
The respect.
respect.
But I don't.
It's
I don't
I
see
disagree
like.
completely.
I don't see where.
Because you can love somebody and do all type of stuff to them. So being in their presence definitely don't mean anything.
Okay, so if
You're
Bennett.
supposed to love everybody as you love yourself.
You supposed to.
Okay, let me talk. So if being in someone's presence doesn't mean anything, then how does posting them on social media supposed to mean anything more?
We didn't say it means anything more.
But like, what's how does that?
I can help.
Yeah,
How
go
does
ahead.
that like?
I think you need the referee.
I'm gonna listen. This is what I'm gonna do. First, I'm gonna give my perspective, and then I'm gonna get into how it plays a factor. Cause I'm a communications major, right?
Okay.
And you're a female.
Yeah. So first of all, my perspective is what was the question?
You said, is it important to post
do you
your?
have to post your
Yes, y'all.
significant
I don't believe it's important. But let me tell you why I don't believe it's important. For me, it's not important because I just really don't post on social media that much unless it's about my music, unless it's about God.
other? Amen.
That's just typically what I post. When I'm in a relationship, I rarely post, but for the reasons that were stated before. People make up stuff, people say stuff, and I'm not the type of person to let people sway my opinion, but I've been in relationships where people let what people say sway their opinion. And then also, when you post people on your social media, everybody want to talk to you now. I miss you. I miss you.
Indeed.
Remember what we... No. I don't remember. So for me, I like to... You can go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. No, I said another
Nah, go ahead.
For
This
me,
is-
I like to keep it separate.
Going, like, all the things that y'all are saying, or that you just said, like, when you post significant other people want to talk to you, like, you mean, like, people, like if I were to post you, like, someone would try to DM you, like, or you saying, like, the other way around?
Like, either way, people...
Because that happens anyway. Like,
Yeah,
you
I mean,
have to
people do
post
it
somebody.
regardless. But for me, I just find it more
I just
evident.
don't think the support. I see what y'all are saying. I just don't see why y'all are saying it. Like the support in detail. Not there for me.
But listen, that's my opinion. But even with that, like, I don't post a lot. If you look at my social media, I don't post a lot of people.
But that's
I
why
post
I
my
said-
family most of the time. But one thing about my family, I know people be like, they got snakes in their family. My family's solid. My family have never crossed the line. Like, people have different back upbringings, right? But me, I think a lot of the reason why I don't feel like I need people to post me on social media, or like why it's important in a relationship, because the way I grew up, my parents, they don't even use social media. They've been married for 25 years. They're a good example for me. So I just, like, when I see love and I see stuff like that, that's what I look at. So I don't think like, oh, well, post me, because I never see my parents doing that. Like, I just see them like y'all said, in each other's presence is important. But at the same time, just because somebody with you don't mean they're there with you, if that makes sense. So I do understand exactly what Elle is saying, because at some point in the degree when I was in a relationship before, I'm like, why you not posting me? Because if you're posting everything else, other people, different things like that,
Yeah, that's
then it's
what I'm
like,
saying. Like,
what
it's a
makes me
different
not important to
thing.
post?
Because
But
you said that you don't really post on social media. You're
Yeah.
not on social media, so of course you wouldn't be posting your significant other. But if you on social media posting everything else and doing everything else, it's kind of like it does draw a red flag. Like,
yeah, and
why would you post
actually,
me? And my parents have been together. My mom was 14 when she started dating my dad, and she's 47 and they're still married. And no, he doesn't necessarily post her on social media or vice versa, but he shows her off in other ways.
right.
So if social media is a way that you show your significant other off, then it shouldn't be viewed as a necessity, or why does it have to be done. It should kind of be more like a want, because if I'm posting my significant other, that's because I want to, not because I have to.
Yeah, and I think it's important that you know who your significant other is. Like, if it doesn't hurt you to post your significant other and it makes them feel good, why not post them is the question.
Yeah, that's
Now,
it's
if
more
it's
like
if
more
it's
like along
hurting
those
you
lines.
in some type of way, like if you really, really feel like I really just really don't want to post them, ask yourself why. Me personally, if somebody asked me to post them on my page, they my boyfriend, right? It's a few reasons. One, inconsistency. Inconsistency is one reason why I would never post people. I'm not going to say never. Let me not say never, because I posted people before a long time ago. Probably never seen them recently. But inconsistency. I got to know that you're consistent with me. So if I find you consistent, I may post you. Like, I may post you.
After like a few years, though,
Yeah,
like, you're
when I
pretty
know.
consistent, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
when I know this is me. Or this relationship is solid and other people and situations aren't going to break it, because we strong and we solid together. But that's why they say you got to be equally yoked. So you got to know who your partner is.
That-
Yeah, I just want to note one thing. we wasn't like necessarily like referencing this whole thing to our relationship because she modeled my clothing line, so I always got to post her. So I was just letting y'all know that we wasn't, you know what I mean, talking in second or third person or something like that. Because I post her quite often on my page.
Well, he's speaking for himself, and I'm speaking for myself. So I'm not speaking for the relationship at all. I'm speaking for me. I'm speaking for him.
I'm
saying what I'm saying from experience. I don't know.
I was speaking from all parties.
He posts me for pounds because he have to, because I'm a part of the brand. So I throw that out there.
And I also add like little heart eyes emojis and hearts and stuff that I don't normally post on like normal posts either. So yeah. If we can proceed with the rest of the question.
I'll put my request, but yes, we can proceed.
Okay. What was my next question?
Must be nice.
Oh, okay, y'all. This one is not. Well, it is a matter of perspective. The definition of love. I think that's important. I want y'all to say what's your definition of love, and it's not a do's don't or in between, because it's like really love is like a very broad spectrum.
Courtney, you supposed to tell me this like a week ago. Before I start thinking up some stuff.
What's your definition of love? And you could choose what you want to talk about. You could talk about relationship. You could talk about family. Like, what's your definition of love? Like, what?
Love don't have no category though.
Okay. Love doesn't have a category. Think about it.
Love doesn't have a category.
Think about it.
My definition of love can best be described in the words of Music Soul Child. Love. No, but I really don't think it has a category.
I don't know what you were doing.
He was singing Love by Music Soul Child.
Don't tell me y'all never heard that song, Love by Music Soul Child.
You got to sing it.
So many people use your name and
So we don't want to get no copyright.
It's okay. It's okay.
You never heard that song before?
No, but it's okay. Maybe I have heard it, but y'all not singing it to the degree.
I can't sing it like music, but
maybe I have, but it's not ringing a bell.
I'm not gonna embarrass
and I'm a
myself.
little under the weather too, so I know.
I know how it be. Y'all, I'm a singer and I still don't be trying to sing.
I feel you.
Kudos to Beyonce.
So what's your definition of love?
I've been going first the whole interview.
I'll go.
I go ahead, Courtney. What's your definition?
My definition of love, deeper than the mind can understand. Deeper than the mind can understand, because, like, okay, I'm about to take it.
Your definition? Oh, my bad.
Love is deeper than the mind can understand.
Oh, all right.
That's like sort of kind of the definition, but let me explain to you why I say that. Like, everybody who knows me knows I'm deep in my faith, and so when I read the Bible, I find a lot of the times people don't understand the Bible is rooted in love. Like, the Bible says love your enemies, even when they do stuff wrong to you. Love your family, love your friends. It's love. It's full of love. When you find love, you find God. I mean, not everybody in every circumstance finds God when they find love, but in many circumstances, God is the root of love. And I've also read in the Bible that they say money is the root of all kinds of evil. Mm-hmm. Right?
I definitely.
And I thought about this. I said, well, every time somebody get their feelings hurt, they chasing a bag, right? Because they lost love. So money is the root of all kinds of evil because we lack love. Because we chasing after something to substitute for love.
And that's something you can't substitute.
And that's what I was going to say too. Like, it's kind of hard to define love now because it's a lot of hatred that's being spread.
Not if you know what love is.
Yeah, I feel like
you do know.
Because if you have a loving heart, you have a loving heart.
But like, you can have a loving heart, but if you don't feel like it's reciprocated, ultimately you're gonna turn into
not necessarily.
It
can make you act out in certain ways. But one thing I know about myself, people make me act out in certain. I have a bad temper, so when somebody make me upset, you gonna see it, right? And I've been praying about it, working on it, doing my thing or whatever,
it's
right?
A working part. It don't happen overnight.
It definitely doesn't, right? But one thing that I've learned is I always be like, when somebody do me dirty, I be like, I'm gonna be dirty. I'm gonna do the same. I don't have the heart to do it.
Me either.
I don't have the heart. I can say it all I want to. I don't have the heart. Because God, when He pulled me up and made me, created me, molded me together, He put a little too much love in me.
And it's a blessing and a curse.
Yes.
It's a blessing and a curse.
Most
it's something
certainly.
that I pray on every day.
Most
Because
certainly.
it's a real hard thing. Because the world we live in is so full of evil.
Yes.
And so it's hard to be a gem in a bucket full of coal when
Yes, baby
you
girl.
play
Tell
your
him.
role. You know, a lot of people only good when it's time for them to be good.
Yeah, and when people can see
And they
them
don't realize
being good,
it, you know what I'm saying? But
when it's in the light.
everybody always wants that image of being a good person and having a big heart. I see people say that all the time. My heart's so big. My heart's so big. People don't know what it really is to have a big heart. Because if they did, it wouldn't be something they brag about. Because it's a real, it's a job every day to wake up and understand that you're going to love somebody harder than they love you on accident. That's just the way that it is.
And then even with that, like, when you have a big heart and you love so easily, it's easy to put yourself in question because you're like, why am I so loving? I'm so kind. I'm so caring. And people are not the same way. And so you're curious. But one thing I also learned in the Bible, I'm teaching. One thing I also learned in the Bible is like, God created everybody different, right? And that's why I always say perspective is important. But God created everybody different. So if we was all to think alike, we would just be minions and little puppets. But we all think different and we work together as a unit to grow and prosper, right? So where you think something different from me, we can use what we think and combine it together to prosper versus attacking one another.
Mm-hmm.
Also, growth takes someone to be watering you as well.
Ooh, pour
That's
into
the most
me.
important thing about love. Like,
Yes.
if you constantly a well feeding other living things, what's going to happen when the well run dry? Somebody got to refill it.
Listen.
So if you don't have that daily dose of growth, of water, of somebody feeding you, and you're constantly feeding everyone,
yeah, reciprocity is important.
It's going to start to run dry. Reciprocity is the most important thing about love.
Yeah.
Because if you don't feel love, you don't know how to love.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people get in relationships and fail because due to a lack of love, due to a lack of affection at home, due to a lack of people showing them. So to answer your question, I think I would define love as a mutual connection, like always, like a mutual heart-to-heart connection that nothing can affect.
Yeah, I think that's solid.
That you can never really, that you're afraid to hurt them, like in any kind of way. Loving a person, you know, even down to something as small as eating the last piece of food. Like, you don't want to be like, and I'm not even just talking about in a relationship. Like, I'm talking about, I don't love nobody like I love my mom. I can cry right now just thinking about how much I love my mom.
Yeah.
And I'm able to tell her that because I know she loves me like that, because I know it's reciprocated, and that's how I'm able to keep loving her so hard, because I know she always loves me so hard. That's why it's always said that nothing is stronger than a mother's love. That's what it's from, the reciprocation, because your mother is the one person who is always going to love you no matter what. You love so hard because it's reciprocated all the time.
Yeah.
And so
I think the same for my daddy.
Yeah, like it's just it's a feeling. Love is it's not really a word. I don't know who came up with LOVE, but love is a feeling. Like, it's an emotion. It's something that, it's a sensation. Like, it's not anything that, it's an energy. Like, you can feel when you love someone. Like, it's not a,
yeah, definitely.
And when you're in a sense of a relationship, like, people who get divorced, they love each other. It's just the energy is off, but they love each other. It's love. It's a forever thing. Once you fully love someone, you're always gonna love someone.
I feel like too, media plays a lot, or has a big influence on how people view love.
You said who?
Media.
Like social media?
Social media.
Oh yeah,
TV,
definitely.
Music, all of that.
I think that people use social media as like a blueprint or like an outline to look on, not even to look, or just how to live life basically. Like, they look up to social media thinking that they supposed to hold themselves to a certain standard or a higher standard basically.
Yeah.
I think it's really a catalyst for destruction.
Social media?
When you try to use it as a blueprint, because it's definitely not.
Use it as a blueprint for a relationship, not as a blueprint for love. You can't use anything as a blueprint for love. Love is its own thing in everyone. Everyone loves their own way.
I'm not saying that they use social media as a blueprint for love, but they use social media as a blueprint for how to live their love life, basically. So they see how happy people be on social media and how they living their life, and they like, well, dang, I'm not even doing this, I'm not even doing that, not really knowing that behind the scene of that camera, that person who's acting like, oh, I'm being so loved, that they really deep down inside hurt about something that they not even talking about or they not even showing. They basically just putting on a face or putting on a show to show you that to they basically putting on a mask to cover up that the hurt that they have inside, basically.
Yeah.
Like, it's an image. Like, it's people see the image, but they don't know everything involved in the picture.
Yeah.
Like like people say relationship goals. Like somebody posted something that was like, y'all seen that movie Diary of a Mad Black Woman?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Somebody said relationship goals with the dude.
The one with the braids that saved her.
Nah.
With
the other dude.
The abuser?
The abuser. Yeah, the
Yeah.
abuser. They was like, I guess because in that moment it was how he was looking at her. Like in that picture, it was like the way he was looking at her really looked like, oh, I'm in love with this.
I think I know what you're talking about. His
Yeah.
eyes was watering up.
Yeah, and it was like,
But this is the thing.
I know what you're talking about.
And then too, the music plays a big role too, because it's like now everybody talk about love, 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 but love is strongly associated with sex.
Yeah, I think it's a thin line. Like, and people don't realize that, because when you think about social media, people really believe what they see. Like, people believe what they see. But if you do your research, they tell you all the time. It's so many Instagram influencers and models that take these pictures, and they're really not where they say they at.
But you know what? I'm a strong believer that people believe what they want to believe. Because from experience, yeah, I might see stuff on Instagram and believe it, but I also see stuff on Instagram and I'm just like, ain't no way.
Yeah.
It don't even have to be off the walls crazy, but it's just like people believe what they want to believe.
Yeah.
People might look on Instagram and might not believe a relationship goal or whatever they see about a relationship, but they'll get on Instagram and believe the same thing about a businessman talking to them when you don't even have to believe it. Who is he?
Yeah.
Who is he really? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's people believe what they want to believe. It's selective observation. What's convenient for you to believe.
True.
If you're a person who's single, or you're a person who loves hard, or you're a person who has been through things in a relationship, then your selective observation is going to be believing things about relationships that you see. If you're a person who is just fascinated with business and stopping bad habits and bettering yourself, then you're going to believe anybody who's talking about bettering themselves because that's your selective observation. So it's what's convenient for you. That's the master of people and society. That's what I study in school. Like, it's all about what's going on.
Yeah, I always tell people it's so important to pray. Like, you don't got to pray. This one I'm ready to say. People think prayer is supposed to be done a certain way. I pray to God like God my homie.
Same.
Indeed.
Because I love him like he my homie. So that's how I pray to him. I'm not disrespectful when I pray to God, but I pray to God like he my homie. And he know me. So he know how the conversation go. He know how I'm going to come to him. People feel like they have to have a scripted way to pray, so they I don't know how to pray, so I'm not going to pray. Just pray for me. You got to pray for yourself.
You don't have to get on your hands and knees and say, Lord, I'm asking you. No, you say, Lord, please get me through this day. Lord, what's going on? You can just talk to God. I talk to God in the car like I'm talking to
I talk to him
passenger.
every single day. And so even with that, when it comes to social media, when it comes to love, when it comes to your relationships, when it comes to all of that, you have to pray. If you pray and ask God to give you clarity and to be in God's will, he'll do it, but you just got to be willing to accept it.
And pay attention the first time.
Pay attention the first time.
If you don't listen, he going to keep showing you in
again
ways
and again
that you don't even want to see.
And you also can't fake it. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta have faith in what you asking God for as well.
Yes, that's so pertinent, and people have to understand that.
Yes, because without faith, bro, it's nothing. Like, I feel like prayer is no without faith. Like, you have to really believe that what you're praying for is gonna manifest.
If you don't believe it, it's not going to.
Indeed.
And not only that, you have to be deserving of it. Like, God doesn't like ugly, and that stretches in ways beyond what people think. That's bigger than what your mom tells you growing up. You know what I mean? Like, you can't pray for a clean heart and guidance and whatever else you ask God for. Those are the two main things that I ask him for every day. That's why I said that. But you can't pray for that and you aren't being what you need to be.
Yes.
He's not gonna bless you with any
Because you'll be stagnant.
strength, or you may be moving forward in your relationship, but if you not obeying your mom and your dad and you disrespecting your parents, your family life is crumbling, and vice versa.
Yeah.
Everything could be good at home, but if you're not doing what you're supposed to do as somebody's significant other, then your relationship might start failing while other things are going good for you. So
Yeah.
God pays attention to all those kinds of things. Everything has to be good across the board.
And you have
for
to
him to bless you with stuff like that.
You have to ask God, like, is this your will? And I know people probably like, what? But people pray for stuff all the time, but like, well, God didn't answer my prayers.
Maybe.
But first of all, He may have did answer your prayers, but you didn't listen to what He said.
Indeed.
Like, He may have answered your prayers. You may be praying for this man, or you may be praying for this job. You may be praying for this career. But God may have you in a whole different path than what you're trying to direct yourself, because He sees vision for you that you don't see for yourself. Mm-hmm. God blockades so many things from us that we don't even realize that He blockades. And then we're like, well, I didn't get this, I didn't get that. It's some demons over there trying to attack you, and God blocked you from them. And you worried about what you didn't get, what you don't have. Like,
You gotta be thankful for what you do got.
Yeah.
For the small things like waking up, breathing, being able to walk,
yes,
sleep,
having
all
breath
of that.
in your lungs is perfect.
Being able to go to a university like this to meet, network with different people, having the opportunity just to be able to go to school. I got so many, of my old back home friends that never even left Richmond before. They don't know what an ODU is. They don't know what a Norfolk is.
Yeah.
They don't have the resources and or the people to take them or lead them in the right direction.
Yeah.
So.
And beyond that, we push the idea of being grateful for physical things, material things. Be grateful for things like mental health and small things.
Amen.
People, good health.
Indeed.
Being able to breathe.
A sound mind.
Listen, look at things on your own. Being able to have all five senses, even if they aren't the strongest. You know what I mean? Even if you do wear glasses, you can see. You know what I'm saying? Like, not even physical things. Not being able, not the opportunities that He's taking you to, but the ones that He brought you here with. You know?
Yeah. You definitely have to be grateful. Like, it's people who don't eat every single day.
The things that you have while you're here, too. Because a lot of people take things for granted. And gratitude is the most humbling thing that God will ever put in front of you. If
and
you're
one
not
thing,
gracious enough, He'll definitely change some things.
One thing that I always say is, like, when you gain wisdom, it's so important to share it and spread it.
Definitely
Knowledge,
have to inspire.
wisdom, everything. That's why it's so important to learn.
People are not... Everybody's not at the same level, right? Everybody's at the same level as far as, like, not equality, but, like, even in God's eyes. Yeah. Like, everybody's at the same level. But people have different paces, right? Mm-hmm. So, where you may be here and somebody else is here, in God's eyes, y'all are here. Mm-hmm. But what you have here, you can teach somebody to come up here with you. You don't have to be up there by yourself.
Just being
and when you allow somebody to come up with you, God will bless you even more. He will bless you. He will bless you. Like, you'll be fruitful.
Indeed.
And you have to be willing to receive knowledge and go get knowledge to bring it back to somebody else. You have to be willing to learn. You have to be willing to get up and do that, because nobody is just going to give you anything. The whole notion of pounds is people owe you nothing, don't sleep. That means get up and do what you're supposed to do. Get up and go to class on your own. Get up, make your own money, make your own grades, all that type of stuff.
Indeed.
Yeah.
She basically said what I was going to say.
Great minds think alike, though.
That's so dope.
Seriously.
Great minds think alike.
That's one of the reasons why I do like Your Brand Pounds. Like, I didn't know what it meant at first. Like, I didn't know it was an acronym. Mm-hmm. But
a lot of people probably got like the negative meaning of it, or probably thinking some other of it. But no, pounds is a pounds is a acronym for people owe you nothing, don't sleep. Basically, what L said, like, don't ever wait for nobody to give you anything or hand you anything. You got to go out and get it on your own, basically.
And when I saw that, I'm not even gonna lie, I was like, bro, I gotta support. I got no choice, like, cause that's real. Like, one, you put that on Apparel. Not only did you put it on Apparel, like, it's different. You know what I'm saying? How you did it, the style, everything, like, it pops. And then the meaning behind it.
And it's just basically what my goal is for when somebody purchases the merch from me and they actually put that on, that they actually, get that mindset. So, how y'all was talking about God and things like that, like, I actually prayed over all of my merch. Like, when people buy this and they actually put it on, that they get that mindset that don't nobody older than them. They got to actually get out on their own and basically make something happen for themselves, basically.
That's so dope.
Indeed.
You prayed over your apparel. Indeed. That's why you prosperous.
Indeed.
Because God will see you through. God will definitely
Always.
see you through.
That's why they say put him first in everything.
Listen, you can do what you want to do, but I'm going to tell you what I know for certain.
Put him first.
Put him first. Like, that is crucial.
Amen.
Hey man, it's a real thing, and laziness is a form of evil too. Don't fall
Certainly.
victim.
You got to pray. You got to pray every day for your mental
A
state.
lot of things is just God testing you to see if you're worthy of the things that you're praying for.
Because listen, you
Indeed.
pray for a certain place, and when God take you there, and he be like, bro, why I got to deal with all this?
Yeah,
Yo,
pray
you
for
just literally
success.
prayed to me and asked me for this. Can you
pray
be grateful?
for success and the opportunity. It's some people who don't have the opportunity to be in college and wish they could get to college.
Yeah.
And then you got some people who
Take it for
take
granted.
it for granted and want to finesse their way through school. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? You can't elevate nobody with knowledge if you don't have none on your own and you depending on other means to get it.
Yeah, I understand perfectly.
And see, one of my favorite quotes, I actually got this from Instagram, is like, don't ask or don't complain about having too much on your plate when your goal was to eat.
Indeed.
Oh, yeah.
I seen that.
Yeah,
I seen
I saw
that.
that.
I seen that.
I haven't
before.
seen that.
I
I haven't
saw
seen it in a
it.
while,
That's dope.
but I haven't seen it in years. But the fact that I still remember that,
Mhm.
like,
I mean, but it's true. Like,
important. Yeah.
it's true.
It's a real thing. You have to take the good and the bad on
Yeah.
the road to success. Like,
Definitely.
It's not a choice. You don't get to just say, well, God, I want to be this, but I'm not trying to do the work. Like, you can't do that.
God will, once God elevates you to a certain place and you ask to be to a certain place and God gives you that will, right? You also have to grow, like, spiritually, different areas. Like, it's some stuff that you have to let go, some things that you have to keep. I learned that personally. Like, me being God's lyricist, I'm still imperfect. I'm human. But God has shown me, like, it's certain things that I cannot do.
Indeed.
I asked him for this gift. He showed me what I can do with my gift, right? And I said, God, make me fruitful, make me prosperous, make me knowledgeable, teach other people, give me wisdom, right? And I asked these things, right? And then when I can't do certain things, I'm like, bro, God, why everybody else can do it and I can't do it? Because you're not everybody else, and I called you to do what I called you to do. So you have to be where I put you. And if you're not where I put you, it's not going to align. And if you're not in alignment with God, prosperous, it's going to be a little zigzaggy.
You're right.
And see, I also watched this video. Like, I was told to watch these videos called Symbols Explained
Mm-hmm.
on YouTube. It's like their channel is like Truth Unedited or something.
Gotcha.
But it's so much in there that talks about like pyramids, how like the depth. Like now they try to say you won't prosper without God, but it's like the devil blesses his kids too.
Mm-hmm.
It's just you gotta know the difference.
Yeah, this is what you have to understand. I'm actually reading this book in the Bible right now because God keeps placing it on my heart, the book of Job. In the book of Job, God has love for Job because Job is like, he respects God, he loves God, he's honorable to God, he sins because he's human, but he's like, he's obedient to God. And the devil say, well, if you take everything from him, he won't be obedient to you, he will curse you. And God said, no, I trust my what you call it, disciple or whatever. I trust him. You laughing at me? Yeah, I know what you call it. He said, I trust him. Like, I'm gonna strip him of everything. I'm gonna make him have warps on his body, different things of that. So I'm gonna do all of this to him, and he's still not gonna curse me. God will test you. He gave the devil control just to show him that he did not have control. It's going to blow some of our minds, but you have to understand that you're not going to understand everything that God does and why he does it.
Now let me ask y'all know the story of
Before
Job?
you get into it, I don't want to interrupt you, but it's 5:54, and I just want to thank
Bye,
you for
Elle.
having
Thank
me.
you so much
And I
for
wish I could
coming.
stay, but I have to go.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
So do you know like the story of Job?
I don't.
Me either. I know the summary, like I know basically what you talk. But my grandmother asked me, she asked me a question, and being that it was brought up, I'm gonna ask y'all, like, out of all the names in the Bible that people name their kids, why don't people name their sons Job?
It's interesting.
You said Job.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Job is like,
He's known.
yeah, he's known, but like, how else can I describe it? Like, I'm not gonna say he was the favorite. or anything like that. But it's like his story is
one of excellency.
Yeah, so it's like why don't the kids name.
That's a good question.
That's a great question.
But when you think about it, it provokes the question in my mind: why do people only speak of certain sins? They only bring certain sins up to the surface when it's ample in the Bible.
Indeed.
People are selective, so you have to know the Lord for yourself. Because people will pick and choose and teach you what they want to teach you, right?
Mm-hmm.
But God has more in store for you. So that's why it's important to go to church, important to get fed. But you have to have your own relationship with God, and that's why people stress it so much.
Indeed. And you definitely don't have to dress up in your Sundays best to go to church. You can look at church from your bed, on your phone, reading the Bible, just having your own relationship with God.
And you know what's so crazy? They try to make it seem like, oh, you have to go to church to get this relationship with God. But I was told, I don't know how true this is. I don't know if I read it or if I heard it, but they said God doesn't dwell in buildings that are man-made.
Yeah. Evangelism is so real.
He don't.
I tell people all the time, they say I'm a gospel rapper, right? And I rap about God, but I don't call myself a gospel rapper because God is not only going to use me within inside the walls of the church.
Right.
I'm an evangelist. God wants me to sell out arenas, and he wants people that look just like me and you, people who don't even know God in there, getting turned like, oh, what's this that you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Like, feeling it, for real. And a lot of people say, this is the thing. People say that you don't have to go to church. They don't go to church because church don't feed them, different things of that sort. I personally love going to church, but it's because I understand why I go to church. You have to understand why you're going. If you're going just to go, you're not going to get fed.
Indeed.
I go to church because it's 7 days in a week. 7 days in a week, and I don't necessarily get... I get fed through myself, like reading and praying and stuff, but through my everyday life, not everybody around me is feeding me. So one, I go to church, so Sunday I can get fed at the beginning of my week. Two, when pastor says something in church, pastor's human, so they're not perfect. So sometimes they say stuff that people may not agree with. But I believe a lot of the times what the pastor says at church aligns to with what I'm dealing with or what I'm going through, right?
Definitely.
And then I'll pray about it and I'll ask God, okay, now that you showed me this or now that you said this and it sticks with me, explain it to me throughout my week. And I, like pastor would say, I noticed that you angry or something. Then I look at myself and I be like, I've been angry all week. Then I work on being angry. It's different things like that. Now, when you look at a pastor to be perfect, then of course you're gonna be like, I don't want to go to church. Church ain't for me. This, that, and the third. Pastors are humans. God gives them wisdom and He gives them guidance so they can teach. He gives them knowledge so they can teach. But at the end of the day, we're human beings, so we're imperfect. I'm a gospel rapper. Well, a gospel rapper, a rapper who rap about God, who's so imperfect, but God still loves me enough to use me. I think it's dope. Grateful for it. Y'all, I gotta get him the scripture of the day.
Go ahead, get him the scripture of the day.
Y'all, listen, I gotta tell y'all, I think this is so crazy. God is so dope. He made this scripture align with what we talked about. And these questions, like, what we start talking about at the end had nothing to do with my questions.
For real.
So I think it's crazy. But the scripture is 2 Chronicles 7:14. Be humble, pray, seek the face of the Lord, turn from sin, then He will forgive your sins and heal your hands.
Amen.
I just really feel like, I was like, wait, what? Like, be humble, pray, seek the face of the Lord, turn from sin, then He will forgive your sins and heal your hands.
Look what happened when we let God in.
Let Him work
That's
His
tough.
magic. Hey, that's tough. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having us.
I definitely appreciate it. We will see you all next Monday with Make It Happen Monday. Stay tuned.
Peace.
Peace.